boy, here we are back after 2 weeks of break. Now we got a chapter, which is chapter 1131, titled Loki of the Realm of the Dead. And let's go ahead and jump into chapter because right off the bat we pick up where we left off last chapter, which is Luffy going down to wherever noise was coming from down below, which is the bridge. Now Luffy comes to stand in front of Loki, which is the prince of Elbaf. So here we are, and he starts saying, "All right, finally made it to Elbaf." And Loki was trying to get Luffy's attention, but Luffy being Luffy, he's just gonna keep on going and going and going. So I knew that this was Elbaf. We wanted to come here for ages. Everything's so big, basically. And Loki just says to Luffy, "Hey." And Luffy keeps going. He said, "Being at Old Man Dory and Broggy's ship earlier was crazy. It's the first time I saw a bunch of giants in one place." And Loki again says, "Hey," again, in a more annoying tone. And he says it the third time, he said, "Hey, listen while I'm talking to you." And the booming of his voice, ever the forest shows so shaky, supposedly. And Loki introduces himself formally. He says, "Human, I am the sun god from all the legends we passed down on this island. Don't speak unless I say so, human. Tell me, what do you think of my predicament?" And you just see the caption on the bottom below where Loki's sitting. Said, "The accursed prince of Elbaf, Loki. Special bounty, 2.6 billion. Billion. And when I say special bounty, we don't know if that's like a very permanent bounty. Like, wait and see what he does. You know, also, he asks Luffy that question, and Luffy responds with, "Oh, it just looks like you've been caught for doing something dumb." He said, "Well, how shrewd of you. Their intent wasn't merely to catch per se. It was more wanted to sweep me under the rug," basically telling Luffy, "Yeah, per se it wasn't me to catch. It was not caught, but it was more like they caught me and down here, basically sealing me away so I won't cause any more damage. If I'm able to break out, then something else will come up." So he also says, "Can you believe it's been 6 years since I've been down here?" Luffy says, 6 years? And Loki continues, "I'm the pride of Elbaf's immense strength, but these chains have now I can't like invoke my power, basically. Loki has now but been having a devil fruit, and this devil fruit has been passed down through the royal family for generations, and now we can see why he's been chucked down here. He ate a devil fruit that was too damn powerful that the giants that deemed a threat. So giants said, "You know what? Toss this guy into the down there to I forgot what the word was. Anyways, toss him down there, chain him up with sea prism stone, and we're good. We're copacetic." Now, he also said, "I'm bound here in Worldland to Treasure Tree Atom." So basically, you're chained down to the World Tree Yggdrasil, so you can't get out. But you're in Helheim, so there you are. Loki tells Luffy, said, "Hey," and this is where the myth of the Trickster Prince plays into effect. "So, I have a proposal for you, Loppy." Luffy corrects and says, "Luffy, buddy." He said, "You want to make a deal, Luffy? You're a pirate, right? Well, I want you to undo my chains by dawn. In return, I'll wipe out any pirate crew you want. I'll make sure to not leave a trace." Sounds good, right? Also, the key is somewhere in the village. So, what does this mean then? So here, that's the deal that Luffy presents to Luffy with that deal. Now, Luffy also says, "I can't force you myself, but," and Luffy's like, "Hmm, what do you mean by that?" Luffy ain't dumb, but he's got the sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I'm getting at. There's instances where Luffy's kind of like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that." But he's not smart, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, pencil in class kind of smart, if you know what I mean. Getting what I'm saying? So he's like, "Oh, I almost forgot to say, this is a realm of the dead. You see, the lower layer of Elbath, which is Helmheim, is a place no one dares to approach. Criminals and the condemned are dropped down here. It's a prison and an execution ground." So, as soon as Loki was explaining that to Luffy, and Luffy was looking beyond past the trees, he sensed something come up towards him and Loki. He said, "Oh yeah, by the way, if you dig up the snow around here, you'll find the bones of countless humans and giants together." So, looks like a Yeti. You got a Yeti that's coming out of nowhere. And Loki also says, "These things have lived on this mountain for 1,000 of years." Keep in mind, in Legends, they also call this the first world, Midgard. There you go. I'm going, by the way, down the list in case they bring this up. Anyways, and this world of the dead belongs to the sun, you foolish human. I don't know what brought you here to this forsaken mountain. I guess Loki doesn't know that they were brought here by that one giant, and they was imprisoned by that same giant and the other giants. So there you go. Anyways, he continues, "But you should watch your step around these beasts. They often come up here to see their master. It's because I befriended them when I was a child." So yeah, these has been around since Loki been small as a kid. So he must have befriended a lot of beasts if they come out the woodworks. I mean, hell yes, a polar bear, a mammoth, a snake or serpent. I don't know what that is. A yeti and a wolf. Where this is going. Anyways, and you got the other people too, villages or people that's other people down here that was not that Luffy size. And they say, "Oh, the same fate is in store for any puny human who dares to defy Elbath. By the way, your only salvation from being devoured is to press yourself in perturbed smelling clothes, to live and serve as a walking corpse." Anyways, that's how you survive, and that's what Loki says. Another thing, and those small villagers or people, Loki, not Loki, but Luffy size, they start saying, "Master, that's a little harsh. Who is this guy? Is it okay if we let him get torn apart? Does he have anything good on him?" So these basically are like survive down here, prisoners basically, that know how to survive, you know? Anyways, they also bring up, so also, "We apologize for fainting earlier. None of us expected him to show up. That Emperor red hair Shanks." Now, here we are, because they're about to bring it up. Perks up in the air and say, "Hey, wow, the Shanks, you know Shanks? Yes, but this can't be." So, you know, Luffy's like, "Wow, that's kind of crazy." Now, before this, has now befriended, or now the animals around him that serve and listen to Loki now have like buddy up with Luffy. So now Loki is like, "What the hell?" And the other people that are down here, I'm guessing they're prisoners too. "How can he have tamed a mountain beast?" And Loki was like, "What the hell is this guy? I mean, where, how did only loyal to me?" Anyways, Loki said, not Loki, but Luffy says, "Shanks came here. You know of him?" And as Loki said, and Luffy smiles, and then it treads off as Loki smiles. He said, "Yeah, I know that. I know of him. did he come? We're talking about that coward of a pirate, right? And as soon as he says that, Luffy instantly goes into gear 4 and uses Kong gun, and Loki kind of dipped his head like, whoa! And Loki just punched the wall behind Loki, and Loki kind of his body a little to avoid the impact. He said, oh. And then the small people was like, oh no, whoa, Loki, that's blasphemy. Anyways, Loki said, wait, hold your horses. I was just kidding. I didn't mean to say it. As Loki was trying to calm Luffy down because he's kind of pissed. So, Luffy don't play those games when you speak bad about Shanks and other people he care about. You know, so pissed, especially Shanks, especially mighty pissed. And Luffy's like, huh? That's something to joke about, as Luffy says. And it's Luffy turns back into his base form and is like, okay, pops out of Gear 4. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now we confirm that Luffy has now mastered Gear 4 because instantly he's just like, okay, you know? And now Loki's like screaming at Luffy that, hey, where you going? I can't even move right now. This guy, if he gets these shackles off, I'll give him a quick death. Now Luffy says, I don't care if you can't move. Don't piss me off, as Luffy says. Next time you say something like that, I'll bury you in that tree. Well, that's quite something you said, Luffy, after you said that to Kaido and you got your tail whipped pretty much every single time and you got back up, got stronger, and then well, we'll see about what you can do with Loki. Loki versus Luffy, guys. Comment down below who you think will win. He's kind of it for itself. Anyways, the small people or the villagers, I'm gonna call them, don't talk back to him, you fool. And Luffy speaks up, says, so why did Shanks come all the way out here? As he posed a question to Loki. No way was he just running an errand. Is he still on Elba? Loki says, you know what? That's not something I can just tell you. You know what? This is fair. I'll say this is fair because not only Luffy just like in after an insult from that's towards Shanks, you also attack Loki. So that's kind of I kind of like Loki's in the right, but at the same time, Loki is also known as a trickster god. So there you go. And then you cut back to Nami's group and say it's shaking like crazy now. And then Usopp says, oh, we're gonna die here, brother. Nami. And now, but Usopp turns around, uses his goggles, and sees that same guy that entrapped them in that prison or kidnapped them, heading towards them, but he's being chased by the other two giants. That's new giant warrior pirates with Harujin. Jarvis said, does that mean, yeah, it's coming? I don't know who it is. Usopp says, yeah, it's like he was just struck by lightning. It's got to be that sun god without the mask. And somebody, I think Nami says, I knew it. So they see him running and they make a beeline. However, they also have the Sunny, the other two giants that's chasing after that guy, that the false sun god, as I were to say, being chased by the two new giant warrior pirates that has a Sunny being carried by two Goldberg, I think that's his name. So yeah, the destroy Nami, Sanji, Chopper, Zoro, and Chopper are now making their way across the bridge. So they have to backtrack. Not backtrack, but keep going straight. While being like chased by that other guy and while being chased by two other people, plus an owl. So yeah, they got a lot under their belt right now, guys. It's looking good. Now, Sanji said, just gotta book it at this point. Full speed, non-stop. Because they're hot on our heels. Now cutting back to the other side of the island, land realm of the dead. And Harujin has now made landfall on his home island. Specifically, realm of the dead, which is Helmheim. So there you go. and he just got back from catching a big fit. Well, went hunting per se. Two titles pop up, which is New Giant Warrior Pirates Captain Haruden, and New Giant Warrior Pirates Shipwright Danson. So yeah, wonder what that balance is looking like, because I'm betting there are millions right now. Unlike Loki, which I think Loki should be up there with the 3.0, if you get what I'm trying to say, put down here, because it's just my opinion. I mean, you have a guy chained up down there and has a sea prism stone that's been down there for like 6 years, he said. 6 years? You've been chained up for 6 years, and you have a devil fruit that you ate in that's too OP as hell. And there you go. Anyways, it tells how what happened to Haruden after the battle between, Dressrosa, the aftermath, and what he did off to the side. So it shows the New Giant War Pirates and self-proclaimed part of the Straw Hat Fleet. Now we got Haruden. However, I don't think Haruden knows what happened to Bartomelo. Hopefully he knows something happened to him, because Shanks is not looking good, guys. Anyways, I wonder whatever happened to Shanks. Had Bartomelo. So, oh yeah, we took one down, but now we gotta go for the other people too. So yeah, it breaks down the chain of command of, like Luffy too. So Captain Haruden, their crew is made up of 5 members. These upstarts are from the generation after Dory and Broggy, basically. So yeah, the cook is Goldberg and the ship doctor is Jerd. So those two are the ones that are chasing that guy down, which is the navigator Rodo. So yeah, Rodo is the one that kidnapped the Straw Hats and imprisoned them in that little sick and twisted fantasy world he made. And Goldberg and Jared are going after him, with Goldberg holding the Sunny on top of his head. So yeah, go. So yeah, that's chain of command, which is also Shipwright and Station. So there. As for coming back to the seas around Elbath, now Brooke didn't know Brooke has a hairstyle profession, but he says, how is this, Robin? I mean, I did it, but I didn't do it wrong. So he says, I have no experience in cutting women's hair, which I didn't know he does that too. So first time for everything, Brooke. Now you have another profession. Keep going, buddy. Yo ho ho ho. No, you can't. Also, you can't like flesh or nothing because you made a bone. Ho ho ho. Yo ho ho. You know what I mean. Anyways, Brooke says, I was nervous. My chest is beating like a drum, even though I don't have a heart. Yo ho ho. Basically the joke. Bone joke. So, skull joke. And then you got Vegapunk laughing and say, yeah, you don't have a heart. That goes against science, basically. And you got Bonnie says, that's looking at the new hairdo, said, it's super cute, Robin. And, well, Frankie and I think Jinbei wasn't there for how Robin looked post-time skip when the Straw Hats got separated. Only Frankie and Brooke knows. So Frankie says, that look really takes me back, 2 years ago. And Jinbei says, it really suits her. Good job, Brooke. So, not cutting, but Robin says, it's perfect. Thanks, Brooke. You're welcome. And we got Robin back in her 2 years hair, 2 year time, post time skip. Yeah, time skip, hair, returning hairstyle. Which, that's fresh to see. Oh my god, when I read this, by the way, when I read this chapter, I was like, yes! Anyways, I see, so your hair was like this back when you first met Saul. So yes, when Robin and Saul first met, she did have this haircut, by the way. She looked like that when both of them met, so yeah. Sure, he'll recognize it and be, and others like, oh man, this can't wait for that reunion. This is gonna be emotional. However, and into the last panel, we get some good and bad news. So good news is Land Ho, they all arrive on War Island, which is the home of Elbath. So here we are. And everybody's like, oh, it's super, it's huge, it's the island. You got the swords stuck into the island, which I don't know who's going to pick that up. I wonder who, right? Into the last panel of the chapter. This is bad. It's Mr. Saul. He's fallen and he can't get up. Something happened to Saul. One Piece chapter 1131. End for now. Anyways, so that's what's been going on. So this is pretty much interesting. So, all right, for my final thoughts. So, Loki, we all know how trickster Loki is. We all know that. So we all know how dangerous Loki can get when he's making deals, right? We all know his backstory, how the myth of Loki, the god Loki. Can we get, so here's my thing about Loki, not Loki, but here's the thing about Loki. So you got all the giants. Who is powerful enough to subdue this man completely? So you got the whole giants coming Loki to subdue him and capture him and seal him away, put him in chains so he won't be seen again for 6 years, right? So here's my thing. I've seen other YouTubers react this. I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, that explains that. However, do you even think about how who able to stop? Because I'm pretty sure there was many deaths. I don't know if I said that last chapter, but there has to be many deaths for this man. This man must have piled up bodies on top of bodies for him to be sealed away completely or imprison him down there. It took a lot for this man to go, bring him down, imprison him there in Helmheim, which I'm gonna keep calling that because that's the realm of the dead, which the realm of the dead can be translated as Helmheim. So there you go. I'm the only person and the only YouTuber that would say that. Okay? I'm thinking Thor. If we is going that route, Thor. That I will understand on that logic. But if it's someone like I won't say okay, I can say Roger, Goldie Roger. I mean, first of all, that timeline doesn't match up. 6 years ago, this man was already dead 6 years ago. So my only thing I can match that with is should Shanks do it? Nah. Timelines, like I said, timelines don't match up. So who is the only person that's would take Loki down, right? I'm just thinking about this. It's just mind blowing that 6 years he's been down there, but we don't know who's responsible. I mean, Froggy, I understand, could have or was one of the people that contributed in sealing him, but come on. I mean, here's my other theory. Well, technically it's not a theory, but it's basically an idea. It's possibly be the combined power of gods and goddesses. You know, this man rampaging and be like, yeah, we need to stop this guy before he's potentially gets everything destroyed on this damn island, because we cannot let this man reign and start walking around, stomping around like he owned the place. No, we gotta seal him away because he's too powerful at this point. So that devil fruit he's probably eating is probably so OP they got kill him, because if we do, we'll probably have a trippy person besides him going stomping around. So yeah. Anyway, 6 years, there you go. As for Luffy, well, was making some bold claims. He said, yeah, the next time you talk shit about Shanks, I'm gonna bury you into that tree. So, well, Luffy, you kind of threw in that first punch, so I like to see that fight. If you break his chains, and then we can see how much you can back up them claims. I mean, shit, 2.6 special bounty on Loki, 2.6 billion. That's billion, guys, billion. So we don't know if Luffy might be able to defeat Loki, or it's probably going to take as many tries as it took to defeat Kaido, which We all know how long the chapters that lasted, right? And this is probably going to be the biggest arc too, as Oda said too, if I remember correctly. But if you like this chapter, this video, please like and subscribe and comment down below if you think that Luffy will beat Loki in a hands down 1v1 fight here and now. Thank you again and see you next adventure. Laters.